Hi, John.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
Does everybody know who John is?
Well, probably not everybody listening. He's
Really?
not famous yet, remember?
Well, according to him, all 7 people should know who
I
he
mean,
is.
true.
you guys have claimed that there's 1,800 people that listen to these, so
Did we
I'm
claim that?
excited.
I don't think so.
Oh, you just said 1,800
I said between 800 and 1,200, and you tried to add them together, and you got 1,800 somehow.
So today we're
It's a good
interviewing, we're interviewing our favorite lender
Who can do math.
Yeah, and is usually a better listener than he is right now.
That's true.
So this is Jon Wald.
I think it's our job to make him more comfortable, though. I think he's a little
nervous.
Yeah, this is a little uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie.
Why?
You got the lighting, you got everything. It's, it's a little intense.
Well, we talk every day.
Not with microphones. But go ahead.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Tell us, where do you work? Give us the...
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to spend 5 minutes getting all the stupid real estate stuff out of the way.
Yes.
Because I think people want to know, but Mark and I don't care because we talk about this every day.
True.
So let's spend 5 minutes talking about real estate, and then we'll spend the next, whatever...
Talking about life.
Talking about life, bud.
Cool.
You
Let's
know,
do it.
talking about your squirrel issue.
That's a big issue.
Yeah.
That's a big issue.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
squirrel and hater.
So who are you? What do you do? Why should we care about you?
Yeah, well, appreciate it. Jon Wald, Primary Residential Mortgage. I'm the one that gives the money to you guys for buying houses and helping your buyers get qualified and getting mortgages for the new properties.
The lending process with you is always fine.
So enjoyable, isn't it? Getting a mortgage has got to be the most enjoyable thing.
You know what I hear all the time is people really appreciate how thorough your review process is.
Yeah.
And please send me all of your personal documents.
I mean, I just love that at the end of it, I am positive that you know everything about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know every financial things that you don't even know about yourself. We know.
I
about
just always feel closer to you.
Yeah.
At the end of a loan.
I appreciate
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're so close.
Maybe,
the three of us.
You know what I was thinking about?
in spite of all the financial hardship.
Yeah. Before you were ever, a thought in my eye. Yeah.
I didn't know you were a child of his.
Neither did I. Does that mean I get some of that money you're talking about?
John and I used to do this. Remember? We used to do these videos.
I do remember.
Yeah.
And I was there.
You were?
Yeah.
I just filmed them, though.
Oh, you've always done this?
No.
No, I wasn't in it. When we started this, it was just you two with that stupid banner that you had behind you.
Uh-huh.
And then I came along and
banner
made it
costs
better.
a lot of money.
Office
Yeah.
Of the Canton.
Do you remember the time when we were doing a video, I think, in the old Lutherville office, and Risha came by and took his shirt off?
Oh, my God,
and put him on the glass, and we had to stop. It was live, and we had to stop the video. That was funny.
Yeah, NC-17. Like I said, we can talk about that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So you told us who you are. You're a mortgage lender.
Yep.
You are our favoriteest mortgage lender,
I
John.
appreciate that.
It sounds so exciting what you do, lending money out for people to buy houses. Is it exciting?
It's invigating.
Do you enjoy coming to the work every to the
every
office?
single day?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I can
fantastic.
tell. Yeah.
I love financially probing people.
That's weird.
Art is probing. How long have you been doing loans for?
16 years now.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Fell into it. I was a bartender. Got into it after bartending. Somebody said, you want to get into mortgage business? And I had a horrible experience when I bought my first house. So I got into it figuring, maybe I could make this better for people. And, 16 years later, here I am.
Look at you now. Great American success story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rags to riches, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Well, it's funny, and I've said this to you before. Like, it's my job here to keep us on track. I've said to you before I got into real estate, my understanding, or I guess impression of lenders was like stuffy, just like old, and curmudgeon-y. And
I appreciate you.
You're relatively young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of the 3.
Yeah. You choose. But you do have a different, I guess, way of doing business. I tell my clients you're a little more thorough than most. Like if we get a pre-approval from you, we're not going to get 30 days into this and have a problem.
I appreciate
but
that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But it comes with maybe a little bit more of a intense getting to know you period with the lender or the borrower. So can you sort of describe as best you can without too many financial details, like what is you do every day and what does a buyer need to do?
In terms of like a pre-approval.
Yeah, getting
like
a mortgage.
yeah.
And I promise everybody who's made it this far, we're only going to talk about real estate for a couple more minutes. And
Yeah,
then we'll
I personally have like 2 minutes left of this nonsense.
Yeah.
And
But
then
it's
I'm
important because
ready,
the
I'm ready to
market,
talk about something else.
the market's nuts. So quick
I'm
roundup
actually
of
kind of afraid of what you're ready to talk about in after 2 minutes.
yeah,
or
it gets
so.
better.
Okay.
A quick breakdown of like what's the process like when people first call you, and then where do you think the market's going to go over the next 6 months, and we'll move on.
So you actually mentioned an interesting fact. So the average age of a lender is 56 years old, right? And that's
10 years younger than the average real estate agent.
And that's been 56 years old for a long time. So what it means is basically there's not new generations coming into the industry, which, it makes it hard because now obviously Quicken Loans and all these different companies are coming in and say just press button, get mortgage. But to your point, it's not just press button, get a mortgage, because there's so much stuff that goes into getting a loan.
Right.
And when you're getting a mortgage, you have to really go thorough and you have to determine what you can truly qualify for. So really, at the end of the day, spend 45 minutes with a lender, get deep, get a full understanding of your financial picture, make sure they have a full understanding of your financial picture so that, to your point, 30 days into the process, the wheels aren't falling off, and after you spend thousands of dollars on inspections, you don't get a loan. So it is important to really go thorough in the initial pre-approval process.
Right.
And, a lot of people don't want to spend that 45 minutes talking to a lender because frankly, we don't have the enjoyable part of the job. You guys take people out, but it will make or break the transaction. So,
Sure.
Yeah, we always compare, like, we talk about this in private in the real estate process. Title companies are like,
yeah, I remember what you're saying.
They're like OB doctors, right?
Yep.
They get to deliver baby. Everything's happy,
Yep.
right? You guys are like oncologists. It's never good news. Like, you guys never have good news to give, right? Yeah. The best news you can get from a lender is to never hear from them. Like, unless it's like a weekly update,
But then some people are upset because they're like, I've never heard from you.
Right.
And it's like, well, because there's no problem.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Like,
if you hear from your
like
lender
we give
constantly,
you
it
your
means
weekly
there's a-
update on what's going on,
Right.
but like,
Right.
yeah.
If the only communication from your lender is an email, then you're doing good.
Yeah. So,
One more real estate question.
Well, I have a real estate
That's what I
question
mean. We
as
get
well.
one more, and that's it.
Oh,
I don't have any
you're
more.
I mean, this
saying
is a
limit.
real estate podcast, correct?
No.
Not really. You're our first real
I
estate
hate
guest.
real estate.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel
Is that true?
honored.
Yeah.
Trying to think
I
back
mean,
to
we
all
mentioned
the
it with
guests we've
Steven.
had.
That he's getting into. it.
Zito.
Yeah, but
you
it was
had-
more basketball.
Didn't you
though.
guys had your South Carolina people?
Oh shoot! I
Yeah,
completely
come
lied.
on. Look at me. Do I know your podcast better
Do
than
you
you
watch?
do? Dude, I'm like number 6 viewer.
You mentioned that.
Why are we here? Why is he here?
Why is he here or why are we here?
Both.
You want to get into the
Nah, you
metaphysical
ask your
of
question
it?
first.
Okay. You said that the average age is 56.
Yep.
So NAR just put out something that says there are currently more real estate agents than there are houses
I
available.
heard that. That's crazy.
Are lenders getting into the business like real estate agents right now or no?
I mean, there's definitely a bunch of lenders getting in.
Right.
I feel like it is a harder job to get in and succeed with
At least right away,
as a
definitely.
lender than it is a realtor.
Right.
So yes, there's a lot of people getting in right now. We just went through the most historic refi market. Like I said, I've been in this 16 years, and a bulk of my business is purchase, right? So a bulk of my business is helping people buy a home that they're going to move into. There's also a different type of realtor or lender that focuses solely on refis.
Right.
So we just went through the biggest refi boom ever. So we had a bunch of young people come in, or new people to the industry come in and get licensed and do refis.
Yeah,
So
easy
it's
money.
Gonna be,
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting to see what the next few years happen. The good news is years ago Dodd-Frank, I'm boring you guys now. I see Quincy looking away. Dodd-Frank requires you to be licensed and to get true testing and everything else. And I know it's more strenuous than, no offense to you guys, than to become a realtor.
Wait. Really?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Do we have to take a
More
test for this?
strenuous than the real estate exam?
I mean, I heard that real estate exam I heard it's tough. I'm not trying to knock a realtor here.
It sounds like you are. I didn't even know I had to get a license for this. Am I in trouble?
Sell real estate?
Yeah.
You better talk to your team lead.
Shoot.
Yeah, when you find your team leader, talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His boss.
I heard he's on his boat.
Yeah. I guess it does make sense. And like we do see as the market ticks up and word gets out that the real estate market's crazy, you do get an influx of people who just come in and say, well, I'm just going to make it's easy.
Yeah.
The hard part is when there's a downturn and you don't have the experience and the knowledge of actually doing the job, which is when a good lender comes into play, a good real estate agent comes into play. They're actually going to survive those periods like 08, 09 when it was a disaster.
Yeah, and you need to partner up with, I mean, either way, you either need to have a really good realtor and an okay lender, or a really good lender and an okay realtor. Like two not very good parties make the transaction awful.
Yeah.
And the problem is like with Inexperience is problems always come up, and if you're not experienced, you don't know how to fix the problem. This entire business is just solving problems every minute of every day. That's all it is.
And staying calm. Because it is such an emotional process for clients, frankly, that I mean, I remember you said this a long time ago. You're like, John, I love working with you because if there's a problem, you call me and say, hey, we had a problem. Here's the solution. Are you okay with proceeding the way that we're doing this?
Yeah, I remember you used to call me all the time. When I first started working with you, would call me and be like, hey, there's this problem, but I solved it. And I would respond, why are you calling me?
Yeah, it's not a problem then.
Yeah, like what? Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
why are we talking?
Important to keep the communication open.
No, but it's what you need. It's better than, hey, we got a problem. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with the real estate agent. With a home inspection, if there's a problem with the home inspection, okay, we've been down this before.
Mm-hmm.
We'll solve it. Not that big of a deal. There's a ground rent issue. We got this.
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal. So it's all about your network.
Yeah, totally.
You
I want to ask you a question to dispel, I think, a common misunderstanding about lenders.
Mm-hmm.
Do lenders make money based on the interest rate they charge people?
Not at all.
I think people think that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I always tell people in the beginning when I'm working with them, because you could tell whether or not somebody's going to be skeptical of you. And you could almost tell if somebody's going to shop you to 15 different people.
Right.
And I always tell people I don't make more money, less money by giving you a higher or lower rate. Right. I don't make more money, less money by giving you a FHA or a conventional product. Our compensation is set across the board, and that was set and forth by Dodd-Frank, which happened, I want to say 2008, if my memory is correct. But it's Dodd-Frank Act that requires lenders to be compensated across the board the exact same, no matter what product or program they're giving or rate. An interest rate's all about timing, right? Like a lot of people are like, I want a 2.5% interest rate. Well, cool. Like we can't go back in time, right? Like it's like when you want to buy a stock, like if you want to buy Apple for, $40 a share, you can't go to your broker and be like, hey, can I buy Apple for $40 a share? It's all about timing,
right?
It's timing the market. Right now, we're not seeing the low of the low rates, right? We're not seeing 2.5 right now, but we are seeing ridiculously low rates. Yeah. It's insanity.
Right.
And did that bring in, you think that was one of the main causes of this insane market that we're in, where there's just no inventory, but there's so many buyers out competing?
I think that pushed a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, I do. But I follow a lot of stats, and I think I've talked to you guys about this. It's really interesting, like not the baby boomers, but the millennials, right? And I hate using that term, but for years millennials didn't buy homes, right? They didn't buy homes. They sat on the side. They rented. They lived with family. They traveled, and it was a perfect storm, right? Mm-hmm. So builders weren't building to meet the demands because the demand wasn't there with the millennial buyers, but the millennial buyers is the largest generational buyer ever. And all of a sudden, rates plummeted. The millennial buyer started having kids, started getting married, started building a family, and all of a sudden it was like, it's time for me to buy.
Right.
And the floodgates opened with a combination of COVID.
Yeah.
Builders can't keep up with the supply and demand. Rates at 2%, in the twos, it was, floodgate.
Right.
And it still is, I mean, how are you guys seeing it?
Yeah, it's competitive. I mean, just put a house under contract yesterday, and I lost one yesterday as well. Yeah. We came in over list, we came in as is, and somebody else came in higher with 0 contingencies.
Yep.
No appraisal, no inspections. It's crazy.
It is.
I would never advise anybody to do that, but like that's twice now I've been beat out with no appraisals, no inspections.
And I always get the question. People always give me the question of like, oh, are we going to have a bubble? Are we, we going to see? Because I was in the business when the mortgage, we were at the peak, right? And anybody could get a loan, and then we saw the crash, right? So I lived through that the first time. I don't think we are at the same level, because I think to the point, I talked to a lot of real estate agents and lenders, we have a slew of well-qualified buyers.
But don't you also think the lending restrictions are a lot tighter than they were?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I was one of those people who bought a house back then, and I remember the lending process. I didn't use you.
Yep.
But I remember it was basically like, how much money do you make?
Yep.
We need more than that. Okay.
Yeah, and they would just put a random number on a document.
You need to make this much money, so I'm going to write that down. That's basically how it was. Yeah.
Yep. No income, no asset loans. Yeah. I mean, they were popular as could be.
It was whatever. It was whatever you needed is what they wrote down, and it was very little verification.
Yeah. I mean, knowing, I'm sorry to jump in, but knowing I bought a house, my first house in 07, right before this, knowing what I know now, being in the business for 5-ish years and working with you, I should have never qualified. My wife and I should have never been able to get a loan. And that was just part of the problem. We didn't realize it until now when, you try to sell it or try to refi for anybody who bought back then. And you're like, I've got clients who are just trying to offload now because the market has come so far from 07, 08. They're closer to being able to break even, but they're still losing money because they purchased at a time when they probably shouldn't have even been approved for.
And I think that's the scary thing about this market right now, right? Is people buying. And like, look how long it's taken those people that bought in, 7, 8, 9. Like, it's still like they're still not able.
They're still underwater.
Right, underwater. So I think that's the scariest thing about this market right now is people that are buying. How long is it going to take them to get back?
Yeah,
but they're still underwater because of dumb loans, right? Like,
well,
still
a lot of them did take out sketchy products and
interest
things like that.
only, adjustable rate arms that fluctuate every month, and 100% financing.
Right.
There was 110% financing,
and we all have to come to the same agreement of what underwater means. Like when I sold that townhouse that we bought in 2008, we sold it for less than we paid for it, but we weren't underwater on the mortgage.
Right.
But like in the business, I'm calling that underwater by technical definition, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people weren't. Now other people are in a much worse scenario, right? They literally cannot sell the place for what they paid for.
Yeah. But, I mean, you have a condo, and the condominium, requirements have changed in years. And now you can't get financing as easily on a condo.
Yeah, the loan the condo goes from being FHA approved to not.
Yeah.
And that removes
prevents you from allowing to sell it for what you bought it for.
Yeah, like you said, I get asked by clients all the time, like, am I overpaying? And I'm like, well, do you want a short answer or do you want to really go into this? The short answer is probably, right. If you buy right now, you're probably, so let me qualify a little bit, right? Because you and I actually talked about Quincy.
Yeah, I have a much more hardline opinion on this, but
Well, if the housing market is appreciating at a certain percentage per year, and you're overpaying, air quotes, by, let's say, 1 or 2%, how long is it going to take you to make that up? If you're appreciating at 5%, it's 6 months. So did you really overpay? Not really. But some of these crazy $50,000, $60,000 over list with no inspections, no appraisals, 4 years from now when you try to sell it, it's going to be tough. So that's the balance of what we're dealing with now on this side of things.
I think just people are just desperate to get houses, just to put their family in. I mean, I don't know what the city's still selling pretty well, but the county is blowing up.
The city is selling. I don't think you're seeing the same level of competition versus inventory in the city. Like, it's still like things will still go quickly, relatively speaking, but less multiple offer situations. You're certainly not seeing the crazy stuff about like appraisal waivers and things like that. But in the county, it's insane.
Oh yeah,
and like to Mark's point, like. Yes, people are going to overpay, and it's okay. Like, you want a house, you're going to pay for the house. You're going to pay for what you can.
If you're in it for a long time, you're
not. Who cares?
You know.
And also, like, if you have to buy a house right now, that's fine. You have to buy a house right now. My problem is when we start getting into I'm going to pay $60, some cases $100,000 more for the house, and then I'm going to waive all my safety nets. That's where I'm like, I'm not with that. I can't. Yeah. Not that I have the final say, but I'm not about signing off.
I mean, you want to protect yourself, because the last thing that you want in 3 years from now, them to come to you and say, hey, can you sell my house for $600,000? Right. And you're like, it's worth $540.
Right.
Yeah. And I told you that when we bought.
Yeah, but they don't remember you told them.
I know.
No, yeah. But same thing with you.
Now we make them sign forms that say this is crazy, and I'm telling you this is crazy, and if you want to do this, you're acknowledging that you are crazy. Yeah. Right?
That's exactly what it says. Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer.
I would like to see that from, actually.
It's on a napkin. We take it out to a bar first.
Right.
So, but it's I mean, you guys are living it. We're living it.
Right.
It's a good thing no matter what. And with interest rates as low as they are, I think that's where people are saying the compromise of, like, for. If I got to pay an extra $10,000, it's making a difference on my monthly payment if I'm financing it by $40-$50, but it gets me into the home that's right for my family, and I'm in a good shape.
Yeah. Right. We've talked about this a long time, but we kind of go into interesting topics now.
Yep.
Do you see, I know you can't predict the future, and I'll date myself by referencing Miss Cleo, right? You're not like a phone psychic. You know Miss Cleo. You're older than I am. She was like the TV psychic you can call in the hotline. She was like Jamaican. You saw a commercial, you would know.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you see? What do you think?
I was wondering where you were going with this too.
Are there indicators that you're seeing on the lending side that say we're going to be in this sort of market for a while?
In terms of rates, or
in terms of rates, in terms of competition. Lower inventory. I mean,
when's all this going to be over, man?
Yeah, sure.
Hold on, let me get my crystal ball out.
Where do you see Where do you see this going? In your best opinion, how long do you think we're going to be in this craziness?
Dude, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I really think, I think we're going to be in it for a while. Frankly, I do, but I think we're not going to be as crazy as we were the past 3 months.
What comes back first? Does inventory come back first, or do rates go up first?
I mean, rates are creeping up now.
They need to go. I mean, creepy. Listen, anybody 2.5 is ridiculous.
I mean, it's
3 is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call creeping up?
I mean, if you're a 3 1/8, 3 1/4, that's kind of where rates are falling.
Yeah. Who cares? But like, that's great. That's a great rate.
Totally. Yeah. But as a human society, we have such a short-term memory.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, my neighbor got this. Well, it's like, dude, I didn't buy Apple at $40 a share.
Right.
That's what happens.
Right.
And it's funny how many people think you control that.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, my real estate agent told me to use you, and my buddy used you and got a 2.5
rate.
Yeah. We were like, well, that was 6 months ago.
Yeah,
but it's your fault now because you didn't give. It must be a reason.
Yep. But no, I have no idea what's going to happen. In the sense, but I do think it's.
We brought him on.
Oh yeah, sorry, dude.
Worthless.
Sorry. Yeah. But I mean, what are you guys seeing? I feel like it's opening. I feel like with people getting vaccines, it's opening a little bit. Honestly, I feel like the deals, and I was talking to another agent in this office about it, the deals are not coming by listings, meaning the market. Like, I really feel as if deals are happening inner office or inner relationship with real estate agents. And that's why I think it's important for buyers. Like, when somebody comes to me and says, I don't have a real estate agent, I might go with Redfin, for example. I'm like, I can't tell you what to do or not to do, but like, that's not the best idea. You want to go with, to your point earlier, you want to go with an established real estate agent, a good brokerage, because you guys talk all the time, and if somebody two offices over have a really good listing coming up that might fit into your buyer's profile, you're going to know about it before it actually goes live. Obviously you have to follow all the rules, but you're going to advocate for your buyer rather than just wait for it to pop up in the internet.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. Like, part of me thinks that this is all going to be over, not soon, but it'll start to loosen up. But then the other part of me is like, well, more people are getting vaccinated. However, I kind of think we're in this for another year at least. This exact same pattern. Like, I think interest rates will creep up, but I think people will get mad for 30 seconds, and then they'll be like, oh, well, they're still low. But I think the more people get vaccinated, I don't know. Like, I just think by the time they're all rolled out, I think, like, once people are vaccinated, let's say, like, by the summer, I'm not sure selling their house is going to be the first thing on their mind. I think they're going to want to, like, get away, travel.
I mean, you might have an older couple, right? Or, like, somebody that's like, hey, I bought this house for $400 10 years ago, right? Now I could sell it for $8. And maybe I just sell it.
You'll have a couple optimistic people, but I think like the houses that we all really need to come on the market, I'm not sure they're going to come on the market right away. Then I think schools still play a big part. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're still going to have this crazy school shuffle come August, September, and I think people need to figure that out. And I mean, we still need to wait and see what the foreclosure moratorium is going to do and the eviction moratorium, because that's going to feed that lower end market. So I don't know. I think we might have another year of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the middle market is going to be strong. Yeah, to your point.
You like the 3 to 5, somewhere in that range? You mean?
Yeah.
Define strong, like tight, or
no? I think it's going to continue the not insaneness that we've had, but steadiness. I think I should say at a little higher pace. Yeah. But yeah, I mean I don't know. It's interesting, Yeah. And no matter what it is, it's still, real estate is still one of the best investments that you could make. And I think society realizes that, if you buy a property, especially if you got to live somewhere, so you're either paying a landlord to live in a house, or you're paying yourself and building equity over time.
It's certainly the best savings product you could ever put on the market.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's going to be ebbs and flows, right?
Sure.
Like, it's going to peak and it's going to go down.
Right.
But my uncle said this to me the best a while ago. I was like, yeah, my house is worth this, And he's like, John, your house is not worth that. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, your house is only worth that when you sell it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's an important concept for people to understand. Like, yeah, your house might be worth X right now.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, because by the time you sell it in 15, 20 years, it's going to be worth Y.
Right.
And it's all about timing with the rates too. It's all about timing.
Right.
Everything, kind of goes back to timing.
Yeah.
So the moral is, between the three of us, none of us know what the
Nobody knows. And we just spent how long talking about it.
But that's okay. We killed a lot of time. That's at least 2 days worth of posts right there.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I know this was a lot longer than you guys talking about real estate than you intended.
We wanted to
so I
talk
apologize.
About it for 5 minutes. You should be sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize for talking about what we do for a living.
Yeah. So let's talk about other stuff.
He's new here. He doesn't get it yet.
Yeah. So how's life back at the office? You're starting to come back to the office more.
Yeah,
how's life working from home? I love calling you when you're working from home. I mean,
look at that nice shirt he put on today.
This is freshly dry cleaner. I got to say, my dry cleaner J&J's they're
shutting
still
down
open? Shop.
Oh, are they right down here?
Right down here. I'm really upset at the Bedonia. They still have another location.
Yeah.
So thank you, J&J's. But yeah, they shut down this location.
What do you think, you're gonna get like a free cleaning or something?
No,
by plugging
I'm definitely not. But look, you got to support the local guys.
I mean, you got to tell a guy before you plug on his own show. Yeah, jeez,
that's fine. Do you call John when he works from home? I'm wondering if you get the same treatment that I do.
I don't know that I get the same treatment.
Okay,
but I get hello.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
And then it's like I'm not gonna say his name.
Well, is this
child,
Saturday?
Yeah.
Child.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Quiet.
So, every time I call John and he's working from home, I get 2 minutes to talk about real work.
Yeah.
And then first is he needs to attend to the potty. Yeah. Right. He has to
close the door, please.
And then a moment after that, his lovely wife, I literally can hear her barge through the door with complete disrespect. Doesn't matter who's on the phone. Just boom. Normal mundane question of the day.
Dude, that's what working from home with 3 kids is like.
I've been to your house. Surely you have a separate space to work from.
Yeah, I have a little office. The office happens to be in the front room,
front
of the house.
No door, doesn't have a lock, or
it doesn't have a lock.
It does or does not?
It does not.
Oh, okay.
So we're a very open family.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this because I think it's funny. You had, I would say, an intense experience with wildlife over the last couple of months.
Thank you.
The only reason why I bring it up is because you finally were victorious, and I feel like our audience would love this.
We should preface this: if anybody is a vegan,
no animals were harmed in this measure.
I mean,
none.
Maybe just with like antifreeze or something, whatever.
No. So long story short, what Mark is implying, right? I'm gonna get rather than have this drawn out.
Sure, get into the story because it's funny.
So I had a squirrel problem, and the squirrel problem ate my wires.
Stupid.
It is ridiculous. Ate the wires in my car once. I had to get it towed. That was about $800 worth of damage. Second time, it ate my steering and my power steering. Well, I don't know cars very well, other than I could drive them. And that was $7,000 worth of damage. Thank God insurance covered that. And then the most recent one was $700 worth of damage. And the problem is the squirrels have been eating my car and living in my car. And then we actually, my car has not been at my house very often because it's been at the shop for the past month and a half.
Yeah, it sounds like a great investment.
And the squirrels went over to my neighbor's house and caused $5,000 worth of damage to his car. So these squirrels are terrorizing us. So long story short, I got a squirrelinator, which is a squirrel trap.
You sound really refined right now.
This
you don't live in the woods.
I don't live in the woods. I live in Lutherville. The squirrelinator is a fantastic squirrel trap in the event that you have squirrel problems.
Mm-hmm. Is it lethal or non-lethal?
It is non-lethal.
Okay.
I have come down from the trees and eaten the car, and we set up the squirrelinator. Long story short, we didn't harm, kill any squirrels. We just simply relocated them.
Where'd you relocate? Where'd you take them to?
To a cornfield.
To a field.
4 miles away.
What? So you set them free to terrorize other people.
There's not many people around there.
Yeah.
It's just a cornfield.
I finding a cornfield within 4 miles of your house.
Oh, it's right off of Falls Road. There's a bunch of cornfields here, bud.
Okay.
I don't know why I like that story so much. It doesn't have any relevance to anything.
Well, I like it because I'm trying to, we know Jon Wald. I think Jon is a little on the,
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah,
one.
I'm trying to think
of suspense
of a nice word.
We'll put in some music. Right?
Jon's a little fancy, I think.
Fancy. Okay. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't consider myself fancy.
I have other words, but I don't want to use them. But so just the image of Jon trying to rustle up a squirrel in a trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a tractor, man. You
love your tractor.
I do love my tractor.
Yeah, you do love your tractor. Yeah.
The squirrels ate that too. I forgot that one.
It's like $10,000 worth of squirrel damage just
to me.
Yeah.
And then 5 to my neighbor.
Jeez,
yeah, we're talking $15,000.
This squirrel. Man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And we didn't harm it. That's even more
It
amazing.
was one squirrel?
Well, actually, it's funny. The first squirrel we caught, which I can't believe we're talking about this as much as we are.
Yeah.
But the first squirrel we caught had a burn mark on the top of his head, and he was the fattest squirrel I've ever seen. He's got to be that wide. He was a big boy.
Yeah. And you think the burn mark was from your engine?
That's what I'm going for.
How do you know you caught the right
electrical
squirrel?
sparks shooting across his head?
Yeah. I don't know if we caught the right squirrel, Mark. That's why the squirrel net is still out there.
So you're a fellow boater, right? You got big plans. Is your boat in the water yet?
It is. I haven't gone out on it since it's been in for a month. I have not gone on it. So
why?
Just been too busy, bud.
God,
too busy.
Loser.
I know.
You got plans this summer? I mean, what do you? You told me you're thinking about you want to switch boats, right? You have a little center console. You want to.
We got.
You want to switch to the.
We take the boat to Ocean City and we'll go to the dunes and the sandbars and stuff. So we usually pack it. The boat's not very big.
21 foot.
Yeah,
22. Yeah.
But so we figure pontoon boat sounds fun, but then really at the end of the day, I don't know. I like the center console. So
yeah.
I don't really catch any fish off of it because I'm a terrible fisherman, but I do like catching crabs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, you can rig a pontoon boat to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's a little harder to pull the crab pots over the side. Yeah.
And then when you go out alone on a pontoon boat, to do that. Looks kind of weird.
It's sad.
Yeah, right? Like
everybody's like, look at that guy on a party boat
he's
by
on
himself.
a pontoon boat all by himself.
Yeah.
Like, but you're on a center console, and you're like, hey, I'm cruising around.
Yeah,
that guy's just getting away.
Yeah.
Like, that guy needs 3 hours alone, you know?
Why don't you just keep the center console and then get a little pontoon?
Yeah, because
nice thing about pontoon,
that's
though,
a little aggressive.
A little too much?
Yeah.
You can downsize on a pontoon and still have plenty of room.
What do you mean?
Like, you don't need, like, you could get like a 21-foot pontoon and still have a decent amount of room.
Yeah.
You know?
But it doesn't go as fast. It's
a pontoon. What do you want from it, buddy?
I know. I'm sticking with my used center console. It's good time.
Yeah. Because you know who is, what's a crazier market right now than the housing market?
The boating market's insane, dude.
It is, especially used boats. It is. It's
so
stupid.
We should flip our boats?
I have thought about that a million times, but then I would have no boat.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't afford the new boats now.
Yeah. And then I'd have to be in here every day, and Mark would kill me. What kind of boat do you have?
It's a Sea Hunt.
That's good. Good answer. Good question.
I'm thinking.
Good answer.
Fucking land-loving hillbilly. Shut up.
Let's talk about your Tesla. How's it?
Sure.
Is it self-driving?
It does. It is. I have,
but not but not on the streets, right? Because Tesla doesn't do that yet.
Only on the sidewalk.
Only on the sidewalks.
It only does the highway, right?
It does
you know
on ramp to off ramp.
Yeah,
lane changes, all that stuff. And then once they release the full self-driving to the,
which is when?
I don't know.
Wait, are you thinking about getting a Tesla now too?
No, not at all,
dude. Go for lucky number.
But
eight.
I will tell
dude,
you,
I love it. It's
the
fun.
whole concept of having the car drive for you on a long drive seems so appealing.
It is. It's useful. It's definitely useful on the highway because I feel less sort of stressed and tired when I get to wherever I'm going because you just don't realize how many micro things you have to do. Like, it sounds so first world. I get it. But like, it's different. I love it. Like,
I want when Zito comes back in here, I want you to tell him that driving exhausts you from all the micro muscles you have to use.
Actually, I said micro adjustments.
I know, but I want you to use muscles.
On like a 9-hour drive?
Yeah, I want you to just use the word micro muscles.
On a 9-hour drive, you must pull over, 15 times to charge that thing?
Twice.
Really?
Yeah.
How long does it take to charge? If you find like one of the correct charges?
Yeah, so like going from here to my parents in Raleigh, we'll have to charge twice, once in Richmond, and then once I can make it to Raleigh from Richmond, but then I'll have like 15 or 10% battery left. To get a full charge at one of their superchargers, like 45 minutes of charging. So
it takes an extra hour and a half to do a 9-hour drive.
If you stop twice, I stop, charge it, stretch. I got a kid too, so we eat lunch. By the time we're done eating lunch, the car's ready to go. Haven't been to a gas station since November.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is. I love it, man. You should get one.
I still work off of dinosaurs. I think I'm going to keep that for a while.
And you have a horse?
Well, no.
I personally want it to be summer all year long. So
where'd that come from?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Because he was bragging about not going to a gas station.
I don't get that. No.
It's a global warming joke.
Okay.
Imbecile.
No, it just wasn't good.
If you have to explain your joke, it's not a joke.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Well, then it wasn't a joke. It was a comment.
Okay. Well, then you don't get it straight.
So
this is stupid.
Did we run out of stuff to talk about?
I don't know. Probably. This is what happens when we interview people that we see all the time.
I know. We talked about.
What else do you want to talk about, John? Let's refer back to that form.
Well, how are you handling the whole virtual schooling kid situation?
Well, if you listened to our podcast last week, we would have addressed it.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going back to what is the county saying for school next year?
They don't have a heads up for next year yet.
Of course.
No.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
That sucks.
We are 2 days a week now.
Right.
Well, she goes in person 2 days a week. Wednesday is sort of on their own.
Asynchronous, right?
Asynchronous, and then Monday and Tuesday she's virtual.
Are you're still keeping the same situation with your kids going into next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now.
No, not gonna pull them out.
No, I mean, it's been good.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes when you call me, you don't think it's been good at the home life.
It doesn't sound good.
But it's been good.
Yeah. So. No, I don't ever think your home life is not good. I just think it's...
Well, I appreciate that because my home life is perfect.
Yeah.
It's
I think your home life is great. I think I think your family's understanding of boundaries
no boundaries.
is very funny to me.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 4-year-old son that goes to the bathroom and is learning how to wipe himself, and he continues to scream at me. And it always is when I am on a phone call.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop.
Right.
You know, you have a son.
I do,
he will not stop.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jordan, dude, give me, Daddy's on a call.
Yeah.
Mute. Daddy's on a call.
And it's never
and
with.
Like, wipe my. And you're like, dude, Daddy's on a call.
And it's never with somebody you know well enough.
Oh, yeah, totally.
If it was one of us, you'd be like, Mark, hang on.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Listen, I'm on a phone call.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wipe your butt.
Yep.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. Let's talk about that loan.
Yeah.
But with like an actual like real client of yours that you don't know well.
It's that's when you say, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I got a little crisis that I gotta deal with.
Yeah.
I'll call you back.
I'll call you right back.
Yeah.
You know, going back to real estate, because it is interesting, like, you know, trying to have a family life and then work in this business.
Yeah.
I have taken to just being so transparent with clients now.
Yes.
So, and I don't mean this like to be like, I'm trying to be mean to any of my clients, but like, look, if somebody calls me at like 7:00 and my kids are running around me, which is typical at 7:00, dude, speakerphone, hear the kids.
Yeah.
What's your question? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got my
Yep.
kid just punched my other kid. You gotta wait 1 second. Like, I'm like, you hear it because it's 7:00 at night. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, that's the truth with real estate.
Yeah.
There is no 9 to 5.
Right.
Like, I'm in my neighborhood, and I always look outside. I laugh because we're in the neighborhood. Everybody works from home
Right.
with COVID, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's in a professional. They're T-row and different stuff
Right.
like that. And
Fancy
you know,
neighborhood.
and I've seen thanks.
With a squirrel problem.
With a squirrel problem, major squirrel problem. It's funny, like at 5:30 or 5:00, you see everybody outside.
Right.
And in the industry that we're in, I feel like around 2, 3 o'clock till 7, 8 o'clock is when my phone doesn't stop ringing, because that's when people have finished their work and they could talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it is funny. You know, there is no balance,
Right.
and it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, but I do think with COVID, it has the best thing that has happened in terms of with our industry with COVID is that people are more accepting to that situation. Because I used to work from home on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
and I would always be embarrassed if like my kids were in the background.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm so sorry, like,
Right.
and now it's, I'm sorry, my kids are in the background. I have, these are the kids' ages, so.
And people, like you said, yeah, I get it. Like
They're totally
mine are doing the
accepting.
same thing.
Yeah.
It is true, and we've talked about this before with real estate and the work-life balance. I think it would be in any sales gig for the most part, right? Where you are on a commission structure.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be one of the only professions where people think I can call you at 9:00 at night and that's okay.
Yep.
I don't know. You'd be surprised at how a lot of other sales jobs still keep a very strict 9 to 5.
I would,
mean,
yeah.
Like Holly, my wife, she used to work sales.
Yeah.
And
Well, corporate sales.
it
Corporate
was
to
education
corporate,
sales.
business to business respects the.
Right.
And look, I'm not saying that it drives me crazy, right? But like at the same point, it's a part that we deal with, and it's hard to find that balance, because I remember I did a loan for a buddy of mine, and he saw me. He vacationed with me, and he was like, "Dude, your phone is nonstop.
Right.
Like even on vacation, you're not off."
Yeah.
I said the vacation, it just means I have an out of office on,
Right.
and he was like, when I buy a house, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just telling you. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, sure.
right,
Right,
okay,
you will,
yeah,
yeah,
Brian,
yeah.
okay,
Right,
you're
right.
not going to be that guy.
Right.
Turns out he found a house on a Saturday.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and he was that guy.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what we're in. We're
we get it.
in
Right.
the
Yeah.
people. This is such a big purchase for people, and they're so emotional that you have to, and that's where experience
Emotions,
comes in
yeah.
too, because there's so many emotions.
Right.
And if you don't work with an experienced team, the emotions could take over.
Right.
Versus being like, let's not overpay, let's chill, let's figure this out, let's do step by step. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nice. All right.
Anything else, guys?
Well, I think I'm done.
Point to wrap this up. All right.
So what's the deal with the Snickers?
It was for you to
in
eat.
case you got hungry, bud.
Thank you. Was I like because I'm always grumpy? Is that
No,
what
we
you're trying to
just
imply?
provide like little hospitality section treat for our guests.
It's our green room.
Yeah.
It's nice.
John, thanks for coming. Bye.
Quincy, thank you for inviting me. Mark, thank you for
See you,
inviting
man.
me.
Thanks for the wonderful talk.
Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to listen to the podcast.
Fucking Mike Tyson.
All right. Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to listen to the podcast.
Make sure you follow us on social media. Check us out on searchbmore.com and subscribe to the podcast. And all future content
Yes.
is available to you
Yes.
if you subscribe
Perfect.
to it.
Thank you.
See
Good
ya.
job. Bye.